The Earnestly Speaking podcast is a show that is founded on free-flowing conversation and may at times venture into mature subjects. Listener discretion is advised.
First week podcast here. Oh boy. First student report in quite a while. In fact, I actually tracked this thing April 5th? Last time I did student report? Kyle?
I mean, that's what you're telling me. Listen, I'm surprised you even rang me up at all. You all famous and stuff lately, you know.
No. Stop all that bullshit. Stop with that bullshit. Right, seriously. Don't do that.
You know, my wife's not hunting me down to be my co-host, so.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because I listened to your podcast dinner time, by the way. And by the way, Kyle, I'm glad you're back. Don't get me wrong. TJ's phenomenal. Well, TJ did great, having, his fill-ins in for the last few months and stuff while you were on quote-unquote assignment or being a dad again, what do you want to call it.
Yeah, true.
But, when you came back, I was like, dude, it's good to have you back, man. Like you were definitely missed.
Well, thanks, man. No, I appreciate that. I mean, the numbers don't reflect it yet, but I'm kidding.
We'll see.
No, I enjoyed it. TJ did a fantastic job filling in on dinner time, and also he did a lot to help keep hilarity by default afloat. I still haven't made my official return there yet. If all goes well, that'll be on July 24th. I'm not prepared to announce the guest. The possible guest, because it's not officially locked in yet, but I'm in talks to do something really cool with that.
So you didn't ask. Well, it's funny, you didn't ask me yet. So I mean, the guest hasn't. I'm just joking. I'm just fucking joking.
You're always working that night, bro. Or actually, the fact that you're not doing stuff with Mark anymore might open you up.
No, Mark's still around. Mark comes on the podcast still on this show, obviously, but we. You're referring to everything in the show that we did like a couple months ago. The reason why I stopped that show was because it was too taxing in terms of production, post-production, and ended up being more work than anything else. So I figured just keep what we're doing now like this. Mark comes on the show regularly in the show anyway as a regular guest, so it doesn't even matter.
Shouts to Mark, man. He's good times. Oh,
Mark's great, dude. And I didn't give him a call because I need to get his reaction to the Lakers and what they're doing. What's obviously that shit we'll talk about. But hey, you had a baby. I mean, at least this is the game did.
I did.
This is the game did.
This is of the game. I delivered the baby. It all went really well for those who worried about it. I mean, it happened so fast. We're making jokes like, hey, so check it out. In the time it took to watch Endgame and the Game of Thrones finale, we had a baby. There you go.
Wait, that was separated by how many days?
What was that?
The end of the Game of Thrones finale and the Endgame premiere, that was separated by how many days? Like 2 weeks?
Oh, not even that. No, I'm more talking about that if you watch them back to back, it's 4.5 hours.
Oh. You saying labor was... wait. Oh, wait, you're saying labor was 4.5 hours?
Yeah.
That's it?
That's it.
Wow. Mr. Mrs. The Game. I am the game.
He listen, young master of the game. My son had things to do. He's also very strong for a young baby. And, he just kind of willed his way out of there. It was great, whereas his sister was a good 14 and a half hours. So there you go.
Well, I don't know if you got the mail yet, but the Tom Brady is in the mail.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, listen, I'm taking the fireplace out of my house, so I don't need kindling. It's okay.
Oh, Lord. There we go. Set my ass up with that one. So, are you getting your sleep
now?
How's the schedule of the baby? Because, I mean, one of the things that it's not like we didn't try to do a show together in the last month or so, but schedule's been an issue. We typically record most of the time, you and I, during the day. And
right.
That's been a bit of an issue, I guess, the date for me anyway. So when I try to push for nighttime, that's an issue for you because of, I guess, sleep schedules or whatnot?
Well, I mean, yeah, nighttime is tough because I got first watch, and when Mom actually tries to get some sleep, figure that out. I know, right?
Yeah, right. I'm with you.
So recording during the day, has worked better. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah. But are things a little better now that he's over a month old? I think is he 2 months now? Close to 2 months?
6 weeks.
Oh, 6 weeks still, right? 6 weeks. He was late May.
He was late May. He was actually born on Mrs. of the Game's birthday.
Really?
So that's one less thing to forget. Yep.
Oh, wow. So he's like me then. My mom and myself, same birthday too.
That's exactly right.
That's very cool. He's in good company. And go figure, my mom and I are both May as well, May 1st. So there you go.
Your mom's born in May.
Yeah, so am I.
Sick burn.
Yeah.
Sick burn.
Yeah. Yeah. It's what it is. So I listened to your first podcast back at dinner time, and thank you for the shout out. However, you did leak something out on the show because you're a man of many words and you don't hold back. Apparently, you got a problem with my new podcast with my wife and I. Well, more so the name of the podcast.
Now hold
That's
on.
So Christian.
You are fake news.
No,
the podcast is going to be amazing. Your title sucks.
No. And I get that. So my wife found that out today. No. Listen, my wife found that out today, and she says she has a message for you. She said this. She said that tell Kyle, find a better name, and we'll use it.
Oh, okay. Wait. So okay. Now listen, because you got to understand the many things that I have been named that we know people who are associated with, right? Like, for example, the whole persona. There are two personas I created, right? First of all, there's our good friend Robin Vanderberg, who goes by the Queen of Extreme. Mm-hmm. Who came up with that? This guy.
Oh, did you really? Was that you?
Yes, I did.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
Mickey Fick, calling himself the mad scientist of sports. This guy.
That was you?
That was me.
Wow. You are creative.
So, now that your wife has challenged me, I'm on the spot, I suppose, huh?
Hold on a second. Wait.
Let me get it.
Did you name your son?
I did.
Yeah. See, that makes sense now. Because, by the way, I told Lauren, my wife, what the name of your kid, and she loves the name.
Of course she does. And later on, I'll tell you my daughter's name, and you're going to love that, too.
I already know her name.
What does she?
Wait, huh? Wait. Whose daughter?
Does your wife know my daughter's name? Because if she does, she's going to love it too.
Probably does. Probably would like it. I don't think so. I don't think I told her her daughter's name. Maybe a while back, but not recently.
I mean, I can't take a whole lot of credit for the kids' names because for the most part, it's all family names. They're just placed together in the correct fashion.
Okay.
So,
I mean, granted, you are the only person that so far that's found out about the show that doesn't like the name. Everybody else loves the name, but you. But yeah, you're giving you so much credence that we may consider.
Let me tell you what. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I don't. Right? Because every time I hear That's So Christian, you and I both know that you're doing that off of Raven Simone show. That was on.
Not necessarily. Now,
yes,
mind
necessarily. You liar. You lie.
No. First off, I didn't even. First off, I didn't. We didn't come up with the name. A good friend of ours, Mike the Squid, who comes on this podcast, came up with the name. We end up liking it.
Right. Well, I mean, but at any rate, the Christian thing to do is for me to be honest with you. See what I did there?
Yeah.
So, I've never gotten that joke
we were actually
Cam.
going. No, what's
you really
funny,
are a student of the game.
We were actually going to, on the cover art, we were actually going to put That's So Christian, and then put exclamation points on the bottom of it, not that Christian, but not that kind of Christian. Some shit like that. Some clever little, even though we actually are Christians, though.
See, and actually, I can spin it to where I can actually be a regular contributing panelist to that show because my middle name, spelled with a K, is also Christian.
Is it really?
It is.
Is it K-H or K-R-I?
K-R-I.
Okay. K-R-I. So Christian, like Kris Jenner. Okay, cool. Kris Jenner. Sorry. By the way.
No, is that a problem?
No, not a problem at all. I'm just differentiating. That's all.
You expect me to flip over a table like Chris Everett did, or Jim Everett did to Jim Rome?
What do you mean? I mean, what do you mean much for you? You mean how tall are you again? 7'5", 7'6" now?
Now I'm actually growing. Check that out.
That's what I'm saying. Baby number 2 comes out, another inch grown.
I wouldn't have to flip the table over. I could just reach over and whip your ass.
40 years old, who gives a fuck? So my wife gave you a challenge. If you can come up with a better name than that, we may consider using it. So that is your task. But hurry up, though.
The only part where I slightly push back, and I mean slightly push back, is I have had the opportunity to interact with Lauren, but I need to know more about her to really capture the essence to really get a name. But even still, I will move on dauntlessly and do my best to come up with something.
She likes black guys. Next question.
This guy.
I'm joking.
This guy.
Yeah, dude, it's been 3 months, bro. We got to get it in. We have a lot of lost time to make up. No, we told listeners this podcast that it won't be weekly anymore because of the fact that football's over, but we still have something going on at least every 2 weeks, every month, whatever, and we have that kept up to our end of the bargain. So we got to make up for that.
Yeah, I mean, I had plenty of NBA takes to give you that weren't completely brainless, and
it's not too
I got
late.
No phone call.
It's not too late. And by the way, that's the next thing on the docket. What'd you make of the movement in the NBA? Were you able to catch up and follow along with your busy schedule?
As best as I could, and I'll tell you this: the one statement I'll agree with is this is about the most even playing we've had in the NBA in a long ass time, and I'm not just talking about the Warriors, right?
Yep.
I mean, today, if you were to get, you would have more trouble guessing the NBA championship for the following season today than I would say up to the past decade?
I go further. I tweeted this last week, and you know me, I know my NBA pretty. I'm pretty well known. I know my NBA shit. This is the first time, in my opinion, in 25 years. Now, this 25 years ago was when Michael Jordan first retired. Okay. So basically,
right.
I'm pinpointing the 1993-94 season. It's the last time the season was as wide open as it is today.
Wow. And I mean, everyone's talking about the West. Okay, so the West is still top-heavy and very confusing. What else is new? What the hell are you going to do in the East? And, oh, my God, with the money Toronto's saving up, what if they go after Giannis the following year? Then what's the East going to do? Holy shit.
That's correct.
And I mean, when's the last? Speaking of 25 years ago, isn't that the last time the Nets have been relevant as a franchise? For Christ's sake,
no, the Nets, right? You said the Nets, the Brooklyn Nets, former New Jersey Nets. Well, they went to the finals a couple times in 2000s, back-to-back years. Don't forget that. Jason Kidd.
Okay.
Of course.
I did forget about the whole they appeared in the finals and were basically pointless thing. Yeah.
Well, they lost to the Lakers, lost to the Spurs. I mean, it's going to happen. That was bound to happen, but it went to the finals a couple years.
But the East was pointless back then. That's what
correct.
I'm getting at. That's why I forgot. And I appreciate the correction, but cared about the Nets. Like, we're talking about, Zell Morning was there for a bit and was performing until he got sick. That team that was supposed to be awesome and wasn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the East was shit back then. I have to agree with you. But yeah, I agree with you. This is the most wide open, and thank you, Kawhi, again for that, because you can argue. I wrote a list on Twitter about a week ago that you can make an argument really for 10 teams to legitimately play in the finals next year. 10 teams.
Okay. First of all, get Philly out of there because Embiid will not stay healthy.
Well, he did last year. He did last year.
Okay.
And because of Kawhi moving west, their trek to the finals is a lot easier now as a result. So Philly has been in the conversation, even though the dynamic, I still have questions, obviously, but still, talent wise, best starting five in the Eastern Conference by far.
But you really can't rule out Toronto yet either. I mean,
no, I won't.
Honest, if people did,
I won't.
If people do what they were doing playing defense, and Siakam, like this guy, I didn't know who he was, previous to 2 months ago, and here he is, dropping bombs from a distance and playing a little bit of D and doing some stuff. That's nice. Kyle Lowry as a side act is far more prolific, in my opinion, than he was trying to be the guy.
When he wants to, of course, when he wants to show up. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put Toronto as a title contender, but it's still a playoff team, definitely.
I mean, they'll be in the top half of the East. That's what I'm saying. In the top 4 teams.
It's possible. I think you look at the East right now. Obviously Milwaukee, obviously Philly. Indiana's interesting depending on if they get Oladipo back early enough. But I heard he's coming back in December, January, so that could hurt. That could hurt. They got Brogdon, so we'll see what happens. Malcolm Brogdon. Miami's gonna be a little better next year with Jimmy Butler, and who knows if they get Russell Westbrook before the season starts.
When they announced they were going to move on Whiteside, I almost sent you a tweet for go Heat, bitch.
You should have. Why didn't you, slacker?
Honestly, because I was out and about, and T-Mobile's mobile plan is shit, so it wasn't working.
Yeah, sure. Blame others for your problems. Go ahead.
No, I'm not blaming other people. I'm blaming the technology.
Well, okay. I get that, but still. You're still blaming somebody other than yourself. You could tweet that next day.
Yes, I am. It can't be me. I'm a bad motherfucker.
The trade happened 2 weeks ago. You've had 2 weeks since then. What the fuck? Why didn't you send it yesterday?
Why didn't I send it yesterday?
Why didn't you send it 2 days ago?
It would have been late by then.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You still send it.
See, here's the thing. I go through my data so fast on my plan. Like, it's July. My Independence Day party was the text from T-Mobile saying you've been through your data. I'm like, what the hell?
Better late than never, Kyle. Just saying. I appreciate late. I'm okay with late.
Depends on who you ask, but that's a whole other topic.
She did say that, though. She did. But yeah, it's wide open. It's wide open.
Talking about better late because you don't need another kid.
No, we're done. We're done having kids. I'm assuming you're done too having kids. No, I'm assuming you're done with kids.
We've had this conversation, man. Come on now.
No. The conversation we had 2 years ago was that one was enough.
We've had this conversation about that conversation already too, man.
Yeah, and now you have two. And I don't know how you feel. Maybe you changed your mind. I don't know. What I'm telling you is that...
No, it's going... First of all, it's going well. And, so far, the second kid is the far better temperament. I know it's temporary because it's only 6 weeks in, but, it's going really well, and Veronica really loves her little brother. But, at the end of the day, this doesn't change the fact that Tom Brady still isn't the GOAT. Anyways.
Make sure he wears that jersey, though. Uncle EJ, let's go.
I've always wanted to see him wear a blue diaper.
Oh, God. We're a Giants one forever. They're going to be trash next year. But anyway, whatever. We'll discuss the NFL in a second. So, when am I coming back at dinner time?
When your schedule allows, actually. We've started recording at a different time, and we can be in very serious talks. You'll actually appreciate an episode that's coming because, the episode, you were on an episode of Dinner Time a while back that talked about 80s horror movies as an opportunity for breast cancer awareness. In this case, celebrating you and Lauren actually attending Married Conversations, a show that TJ does along with the Senorita Traveling Pants, as we call her. Celebrating your Married Conversation appearance, my mind went through my theorem on an episode of Dinner Time, how marriage is a series of courtesy flushes.
That's so true, though. It's so true. It is.
You see that now. Listen to me break it down, and you'll have your hands in the air and preach like you're at church. And you've never been, I don't think. I'm joking.
Oh, man. No, that was actually a lot of fun we did with TJ and his wife. It was kind of like last minute, too. Like, it was literally that after that evening, he sent me a text. I'm going to do a podcast with you two. Okay, cool.
He'll drop a hat, man.
No, right. But the amazing thing was my wife, who was at work at the time, I sent her a text. Listen, I don't know if you want to do this, but we're being asked to do a podcast now. You want to do it? Yeah, sure, let's do it. What? Okay. Fine.
And y'all had some crazy conversations, like, the term ass play came up. I'm just saying.
Dude, TJ, let me tell you, I love TJ. I like the fact he's just, just does what he says what he's going to say, and that's it. Dude, I was shocked. So he was saying about the episode, like, whoa! Like, whoa! Don't change, though. Don't ever
You were shocked. I'm like, I knew he was going to do it. Like, you started talking about feathers, and then he said that. I knew it was going to happen. So anyways, for those of you who hear us talk about that, you want to check out that Married Conversation. Why am I pimping that show? I don't know. I'm not on it. I'm probably never going to be on it. But my good friend TJ deserves the press.
What are the odds that Misses the Game makes the appearance on that?
Less than 10%.
She's not into any. Is she introvert?
Yeah, it's probably a safe description. She leaves the social butterflying to me, but now that, she's established and attached to me now via matrimony, she's forced to be more of a social being, and she's rolling with it.
But that's the thing. That's the same thing with my wife, too. She's an introvert still by nature. But, of course, I'm loud and proud, and, I'm always going to be, out there no matter what. She has, by default, started to adjust, I mean, it took years to do this, dude. Like, her doing one podcast a year with me to now. And, dude, this whole idea of her not doing a podcast, it took literally 5 years for her to say, oh, okay, I'll do it. What? Okay.
Well, I did help pump up her ego significantly, I think. I'm kidding.
It does help. It did help. No, it did help. Well, no, you say that, but it did help because of the fact that it's the first time she did this outside of talking to me. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Well, I make that joke, and she didn't come at me with some easy stuff. She came out with a theory that could be on the surface, had a high chance of being, I'm not going to say bad, but it was definitely against the grain, and she came with it with the thunder. She definitely had a much better performance than I would claim that lame-ass podcast title is. I'm just saying.
In fact, Jesus. No. The only other time she's done podcasts with me was when me and my good friend Jabari Davis, NBA writer, of course, and podcaster, years ago, we would do TV show reviews and whatnot here and there, and she'd be on there as a third wheel. No big deal. But to be for her when she did with you, I was really barely involved on that show. It was just you and her.
Yeah, you were pretty pointless, weren't you? Yeah.
Yeah. I was literally I play producer. I played producer the entire episode pretty much.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. So hey, it's what it is. So yeah, I think that one especially made her more comfortable too because I was outside the norm what she does, and also comfortable in the sense that she wants to talk about a subject she's passionate about Marvel Comics. She loves Marvel Comics. We have Marvel stuff on our walls in our living room, in fact, so it's one of those things where, she was comfortable in the subject matter. So, just saying. By the way, you still there?
I'm here, brother.
Okay. I do want to invite to Hilary by Default at some point next month or two.
Okay. What are we going to do? Say no? I mean, listen, you're the one who's the big famous card dealer,
What? No?
Dude, we tried to coordinate on Hilarity to by default, and much like a trip to Disney, your ass is impossible to find.
That's true. That's some truth to that. Okay.
What? What? How do you now listen, DJ? Seriously, how do you go from what to? Yeah, that's true.
It's true. My schedule is kind of wonky. I agree. I'm just putting myself out there again. Hopefully, we can make it work. You guys record on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Wednesdays, right? Wednesdays?
Hilarity by default typically records Wednesday nights, but we drop shows pretty regularly throughout the week.
Okay, because I'm free Wednesday nights. Obviously, I'm free Thursday nights. I'm free. I mean, if her schedule holds the way it is going right now, Sunday night's going to be Saturday.
Look at this celebrity. Now check this out, folks. He's acting like we're supposed to change our nights to make sure we get him on the show he demands to be on. This is what it is to be the talent and celebrity that EJ Christian is.
Do you love me?
There's a reason why we couldn't afford you to talk to Johnny Redwood a few weeks back on dinner time. There's that.
Dude, Johnny Redwood is the fucking man. That's on the record. Johnny Redwood is the fucking man. I did tell TJ, though, that I want to get both of you on this show together at some point in the next month or so. Both of you.
Okay.
Together. Kind of similar to what I do with Roz and G every month. I kind of want to do something with you two probably in the next month or so. Something cool. Like a dinner time, like I don't know how what we will call it, but something to that extent. You two come on like a little round table and we just shoot the shit. If you will.
We'll call it the Christian fish fry or something like that.
Oh, Jesus.
It works with the Christian in the dinner time.
Maybe do Oreo cookie. I know because they're two black guys and one white. Ooh, wait, did you see that? Oh boy, I like that. Some Oreo related.
Wow, you're calling yourself a white guy now? That's pretty hardcore.
Bro, I'm blacker than you are, man. Talking about get out of here. You might be tanner than me, which was according to reports, according to GW Gross and TJ, you are pretty
I'm
tan.
darker, but I'm not blacker. I get you.
You're tanner, but not blacker. Not Danny Tanner, just tanner. I'm saying. Anyway, we are now 25 minutes of this podcast. We haven't spoken one little bit of shit about NFL football. To be honest with you, I haven't talked NFL on this show with anybody, or even on my solo podcast, in probably since April. So we gotta get it in. It's time to get it in.
Normally I would talk trash on that fact, DJ Christian, but here's the truth. Lately, the NFL offseason, especially this past year, has just been wildly uncompelling.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's like after the draft has died. Go ahead.
Come back off the mountaintop. I didn't catch you preaching. What happened?
No, I was saying it was like after the NFL draft in late April, it just died. Like, okay, we'll see you in see you August.
You know, I mean, we know where Antonio Brown is going to end up, right? We know he's a Raider. Okay. We know that Le'Veon Bell's a Jet. What were the other big movements? I mean, I like that Justin Houston changed teams. Who cares? You know. But
where did he go again?
Anyway. I believe he's a 49er.
Okay. See, it's just weird, and the reason why I'm glad I'm doing this now too, especially because in reality, even though I'm a big football guy.
No, he's a Colt. I beg your pardon. I said a 49er.
I was going to say that too. I was like, isn't he a Colt? But I didn't want to put a name on it because I wasn't sure. It's funny because this is a real thing now for me, especially in recent years. Like, I love the NFL, I love the NBA, but when I'm like at a point where because right now this is the NBA's time, like between the playoffs into the finals into free agency, and you see free agency is a big deal now, especially NFL goes by the wayside in my brain for 3 months, and it takes me a few shows to get back my brain back into the into the NFL mode again. It's going to take me till August, maybe into like the dress rehearsal for preseason football in week 3 of preseason to get myself into the NFL mode. Like, okay, football's back, and wire my brain back to football. You know what I'm saying?
And there's your anecdotal evidence as to why the NBA will never put a rule preventing collusion.
Right. Well, probably not. But it doesn't matter at this point. Players talk. You can't stop players from talking. I mean, this is not. You're gonna tell LeBron James, no, don't go vacation with Chris Paul because we said so. The collusion is gonna happen. The collusion is really in terms of the teams themselves and the players, not so much the players and players.
Right.
So that's it. That's your workaround. So anyway, what I want to do today in this show, the main reason I want to show, obviously, besides have the baby and everything else and this bullshitting here we've been doing the last 30 minutes, I wanted to talk to you about what are 5 things that you are most looking forward to this season. This week, get our feet wet with football coming up in the next couple of weeks, with the training camp starting next 2 weeks, whatnot. What 5 things are you looking forward to this season? Number 1, what you got?
Well, first of all, I want the record to show that this is stuff I just kind of came up with arbitrarily that entertains me. If it doesn't entertain
that's all I want.
Well, I'm not going to.
And that's all I want. That's all I want.
If it doesn't entertain you, I'm not going to question your football knowledge, but there might be something wrong with you. Like, for example, you think the best NFL quarterback wide receiver duo is Mitchell Trubisky and Alshon Jeffrey. By the way, shouts to G. Stelio. Anyways, so number 5, and I keep put this at the bottom of the 5, but it still deserves top concepts for anybody. I got Garoppolo's return. To be honest, the Niners, even if Garoppolo comes back better than what he was when he started last year, the Niners are still not a playoff team. Mostly because of the division they're stuck in. Let's call that what it is. The Rams are going to go – I'm going to go chalk with that one for now unless something catastrophic happens. Yes, even despite all the stuff with Gurley, I really feel like that division is theirs to lose. The Kyler Murray experiment is going to be fun to watch. That's all cute. the the Seahawks have left Wilson out to dry again, and while he'll do good enough to win another MVP that he probably won't get because people like you are ignorant, at the end of the day, Garoppolo is still a big story. We're going to have this 2016 conversation again?
Next question. Go ahead.
Or no, excuse me, it's 17 at this point. Russell Wilson didn't make the playoffs, but you don't want to give him the MVP because of it, even though he obviously was. But that's okay. You can be ignorant. That's cool.
I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you're back, buddy. I'm hugging you. I'm hugging you cyberspace wise. Hugging you. So you know.
You must like abuse. Jesus.
I need it.
I'm glad CJ didn't get into paddles and shit with you and Lauren. I'm just saying. Anyway, so next on the list of what I'm going to put.
Okay. On the grapple thing, let's do a little dive on it if you don't mind. I'm with you on the Garoppolo thing. Like I told you when he got was it week 3 he got hurt against Kansas City, last year. I was depressed because one of the things I think you and I agreed on last year going into the year was that the Garoppolo thing was one of the most intriguing storylines coming to the year because of now we're gonna find out how good this guy really is. Like people say, people who loved him, of course, people say, well, let's wait and see. We only have a 5-game sample size, 6-game sample size. I don't know how long it was. And we'll be able to find out for ourselves how good he is. And then 3 games in, he gets hurt. Hurt the season. Even though it was a great year last year, it could be been better with him being healthy. So I'm with you, man, on that one, definitely.
I mean, let's not say great, but let's just say it was a marked improvement over what we've seen in the past where, they have single-season coaches that look like they're more comfortable in running a pizza tavern than a football team. But I digress.
Right.
Hashtag Tom Sula. Anyways. What? Anyways. Number 4, what I'm going to put is, I want to see what happens with the Chiefs. Now, granted, this whole Melvin Gordon thing that's materialized, to be honest.
Yes.
I think it's less about his age, chasing that money and claiming, hey, if you ain't going to pay me, get me the bleep out kind of thing, and I'm not showing up to training camp. I mean, good luck with that.
Yeah.
But I think it's more about the impending retirement of one Phillip Rivers than it is about his age. Because as he is getting older, he doesn't want to be stuck in the position of another guy we talked about who played he wasn't in L.A., he was in St. Louis, and of course I mean Steven Jackson.
Right.
That poor bastard wrecked his career carrying that team with no help most of the time because Bradford was hurt, and they would get nothing else. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, clearly I have no problem with Gordon trying for his money. I don't know how much success he'll have. The problem is the running back position is not only devolved as a side dish to the main course that is a lot of this airborne trickeration, but moreover, it's a low durability position, and it sucks.
He has
more durable now because of the hitting rules.
He has zero leverage in this situation, right? Zero, right?
Zero's a bit strong.
Okay.
I feel like if you look at Phillip Rivers' history, when he's failed the most is when he hasn't had a running back in support, right?
Right.
Back when Michael DeBurner Turner was a thing and couldn't stay healthy, he was still effective when on the field. There's a runner back they had before Melvin Gordon, whose name I can't remember, but couldn't finish a season. And the one time he did that I remember what happened, Chargers go to the dang playoffs. It is what it is. That being said, Gordon's presence will be a factor in whether or not they make the playoffs again. Because for my money, I picked the Chiefs to repeat that division. But, why I'm curious with Mahomes to bring the ball back in, he has a lot less defense now, and he's going to be asked to do a lot more. And basically, even what was it? Our good friend, the sports prophet himself, Jason Fairman, said, "I don't think that Mahomes will throw 50 touchdowns and 5,000 yards." I responded with, "Yeah, oh darn! Instead, it'll be only 4,200 with 38." So he's got. My guess is he'll be fine, but I want to see what that sophomore slump looks like on him. What will defenses do to react to him now that they got a year of film? It's very interesting to me.
That's true. It's true. Also, real quick on that, and I know you and I agree on this as we were doing our closing statements of the year last season about the Chargers window being open or closed. It's still relatively open because the AFC is still relatively weaker, but we agreed that Rivers' best chance to win a ring is now past him as a result of last year's results.
That's fair.
Right? But there's still a window open, another year window open, so maybe that's the leverage that Gordon, I guess, does have, as far as the importance of being on that team, raising their Super Bowl opportunity here, hopefully, for their
that's
sake.
my theory. That's my theory, you know.
Right. Okay, number
we'll see
3.
what happens with that.
Mm-hmm. Your third thing?
Number 3, man, for those people who like watching car accidents, you're going to like watching the NFC North. Because, god dang it, there's a lot of imperfect football, but they're very competitive in that division, and I don't mean to condescend when I say they try really hard, but they try really hard. Like, you know, Mitchell Trubisky can't throw the ball well. Deal with it. Shouts to G. Stelio and Controversy Raphael.
Again.
But, you know, they're still a great team because of that defense. Stafford's better than everyone gives him credit for, I think. Not that he's great. He's just, you know, good. He's a solid quarterback. And the fact that franchise has been able to do basically nothing with him other than maybe a playoff appearance or two is very disappointing. Moreover, go ahead.
Could I argue, just at a quick glance right now, the NFC North might be the most interesting division in the year? This year, should I say? I think it is.
The NFC North? No, but I'll tell you why later. That's why it's only number 3. Keep up with me.
Okay.
And then Rodgers is, well, you know, Aaron bleeping Rodgers. So, but the problem is, so long as he's facing that Bears defense twice a year, he will miss time with an injury. It's going to happen. And then the Vikings are the Vikings. Listen, if they can stay consistent, they'll be just fine. All they need is a guy that doesn't crack under pressure. Oh, wait, you have Kirk Cousins. Next. So there you go.
The reason I said that, though, is because, like, I look at the division as this. You have, obviously, Chicago. Can they do what they did last year? Can they capitalize on what they did last year? Minnesota, let down the year. Can they bounce back? Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers, obviously, what he can do with the new coach also. And Detroit might be the worst team in the league in terms of divisions. Worst team division, but best of the worst teams in divisions, in my opinion.
They're in the conversation with another team I have in mind that we're going to talk about a little bit later.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, there's that. Number 2, not my personal number 2 per se, although I think you're full of number 2 with as much as you cheer for this team. The Patriots in general, you know, them having an easy schedule and all the other stuff we talk about because of their divisions and we talk and all that, this and that. Listen, they're a well-run organization, and the boatloads of luck that sails their way works because of the fact they're prepared to take advantage of it. We all know that the interception that was called back makes, by extension, who was that? Ford, right? Makes, by extension, Ford the MVP of the Super Bowl because the Patriots should not have even been there.
Right.
Thank you. So, that all being said, they're still a top organization. I'm very curious to see what they do as well. But as kind of a number 2B, and partially because I write about them, I'm led to be intrigued by it. I really want to see what Brian Flores does in Miami. Don't get me wrong. They're still going to suck. But this first year is going to be a very interesting litmus test to how transferable the Patriot way is. I mean, it's adorable. You got Vrabel, who came in Tennessee. You have Matt Patricia, who went to Detroit last year as well. They didn't exactly do they did a version of the Patriot way. They did not do the Patriot way from what I've heard.
Right.
What I'm seeing from Flores is he's sticking a lot more to that MO, and people are getting out of his way. Then again, it helps when you have a 5-year contract.
That's true.
So, but to me, the biggest intrigue I see, and mostly because I'm going to have a lot of fun laughing at people, or even have a lot of fun apologizing if he actually lives up to the name. And I'm going to throw shouts to my man, Maker Bayfield, a.k.a. L.A. Broadus, as I talk about the number 1 story to me being the AFC North. That is your most intriguing division, bro. Let's be clear. Even if Baker Mayfield is not everything he's advertised to be, he's made the fucking Cleveland Browns relevant. That in itself should be worthy of a Nobel Peace Prize. I'm just saying. And then on top of that, the Ravens are always a factor. I'm very curious to see what they do with Lamar Jackson. Does Lamar Jackson become the passer that my dude, Brandon Howard, shouts to be how promises me he's going to be, or will I be correct in my thoughts of his inability to handle a big stage like I saw in the bowl game I covered him personally here in the Citrus Bowl in 2016 where he got crushed by LSU as a junior? I don't know. We'll find out, I think, this year. Not to mention, it's not like the Steelers suck all of a sudden. Granted, there's a little bit of chaos there, but at the end of the day, they have too much talent to be worthless. So long as Ben Roethlisberger can drag his big butt onto the field, they have a shot. And really, my submission for best worst team in the NFL would be the Cincinnati Bengals. Listen, talk all the trash on the red rifle you want. He's in that kind of that Matt Ryan place where he's not great, but he's too good to really get rid of and feel good about it at night, that kind of thing.
Right. Well, it feels like the Browns are becoming overrated by virtue of the way the reaction from people, the Browns are great. And they're going to be good. I mean, they were good last year. They improved last year. They were actually in playoff contention up until like week 16, week 17 last season. So they make, obviously, when you're 0-16 and whatever, and 1-15, whatever they were before year, and then go to, was it 7-8-1, I think it was last year? Obviously, you made a major progress. But, with the Browns, I feel like people overrate them because it's just fashionable to do. I think you and I are on the same page here. I kind of still like Pittsburgh only because the distractions being gone and that this is a big year for both Big Ben and Mike Tomlin.
Pop quiz for you, EJ. What's the one position skill group that the Steelers are head and shoulders better than when it compared to the Cleveland Browns?
Which position you said?
What position skill group? Yes.
Wow. Well, I ain't receiver anymore. I'd say that much. Linebackers? No.
See, you're way too big a guy to not get this right. I'm very disappointed. It's obviously the offensive line.
Okay,
and
O-line.
It's not close.
Well, okay.
When Joe Thomas retired, they basically had no one else in addition to, because they had the other guys they had that were still good, pretty much left, pretty much left. So the biggest problem, the reason why Baker Mayfield made it to the field in the first place, because Tyrod got hurt, and Mayfield's running for his life. Now, granted, I'm not saying Baker Mayfield can't make throws, because he can, but let's just put it this way. There's now a year of film. It's going to be interesting to see what happens when Baker Mayfield implodes because he's too much pressure put on him, or how he kicks his game to a next level should he become successful.
Same thing.
We all know what I think will happen.
Like Mahomes, same thing. That'll just film how people react to the quarterback now, that people know who he is and whatnot. Yeah, I agree with you.
True, but I think the difference with Mahomes is he's got a year of familiarity under his belt with a very talented, if not elite group. Mm-hmm. So that's a factor as well. Not to mention, who the hell is Freddie Kitchens? Because the guy I want in my kitchen is a guy who's big and knows what he's doing, and that's Andy Reid. Don't trust don't trust skinny guys in the kitchen. Anyways. In other words, you got some afterthought who's an offensive coordinator because you guys thought that Hugh Jackson was a bad coach. How's it going for you guys? You're about to find out.
I still think it's likely the Cleveland Browns will be a wild card team than they will be the division winner.
I think, in a lot of cases, in these situations, that's a good point. That division is too difficult in my mind to really think that it's not division or bust for the playoffs. But by the same token, that division does regularly turn in two representatives as well. So, I mean, listen, the problem with it is the problem is math. There's only so many wins to go around, and in that division, you got to take them either from Pittsburgh or Baltimore. Good luck, bitches.
And I was going to get there, too. Baltimore, even though you have the Lamar Jackson factor hanging over our heads, whether or not he'll be, more a passer and all that, all the narratives around Lamar Jackson, we know about it. We have to go over it on the podcast right now. But with that being said, I am not comfortable forgetting Baltimore. I mean, that is still a John Harbaugh team that is still at least 8 wins there, in my opinion. That's 8 wins there. So you have to, I mean, if you're Cleveland, you want to win, at least get the wild card. I would say you better get 11 wins this year to at least assure yourself a playoff team. Because I still think Pittsburgh is a team to beat in the division. You can't let go of Baltimore. And I know Cincy's on the way down, but they can steal a game or two once in a while.
I mean, I'm not prepared to tell you you're wrong. Now, there's some things that I'm going to watch for that aren't necessarily going to be interesting. Like, for one, what will defenses do to Chicago now that Matt Nagy has had a year on the books himself?
Mm-hmm.
What will we see from the Colts? What will we see from the AFC South for all teams not named Jacksonville? I am very interested,
mm-hmm.
And, there's your honorable mentions.
There you go. Did we miss anything else today besides all this? Because we got locked in 45 minutes.
By the way, that's also what she said, and I hope that your protection mimics the shape of a Tom Brady jersey.
You're the worst, dude. You're the worst. That was good, man. That was really good. Anyway, Kyle, so glad to have you glad to have you back. Obviously, we will, as we get closer to the season, which is weeks away, we'll be picking up the Sooner Game reports and all that on this show. Obviously, you're back on dinner time. The Hilaria by Default. You should be back in the next couple weeks. Am I missing anything else? I mean, you're right. Well,
still right actually, look out unless August. My latest project with Blue HQ Media is going to be a weekly quick hit podcast with another media member out there. And it's going to be me, talking about the Knights as I do during the season, and I'm going to invite a member of the media that covers the other team. So in that case, the opening week, it would be someone who covers the Florida A&M Rattlers, and we're going to talk about each other's teams and see how the game's going to go. It's not really a debate kind of battle format. It's just, two people with two different perspectives talking about good football.
And learning. Who's learning about the other team?
I mean, it's a study hall, baby.
Of course. Through the game. Duh. Anyway, go ahead. Plug away. What you going to plug? You know how we do it.
Right. So, yeah, me, awesome, at the SOTG. On Instagram, the SOTG. About ready to drop another piece talking about the impact of DJ Mack's injury, putting UCF down yet another quarterback. Check out the stuff going on at Hilarity by Default. Very soon, my assignment on the Savannah and the Serengeti will be involved, as the team will very soon be covering The Lion King as a required viewing on Hilarity by Default. Look for Demos and TJ there as well. Dinner time. We're going to record another 7 episodes this weekend. If you have any ideas for the intro, which you'd like to hear us do, let me know. But we're going to be rebuilding that pretty soon and getting that back online while TJ has done a fantastic job. And
I do love the mayonnaise intro. That's great.
Yeah, that blasphemy. Listen, and by the way, who are you to fold? First of all, you came out and agreed with me, and apparently you couldn't handle that state of being of actually sharing an intelligent take, so you had to go and be silly again. I don't know what happened there.
No,
anyways,
the mayonnaise take. I like mayo, but what we were arguing about, like mayo on certain things.
Yeah, mayo has its place, but to straight up call it out and go,
no, I like the intro, but no, I disagree. I disagree with TJ on the whole mayo thing. I love mayo on bread and tuna and my buffalo chicken.
And listen, all he did was advertise how much extra he is, according to his wife. How much extra he is. He's too good to even eat leftovers. I'm just saying.
Are you serious?
Bro, I thought you listened to our show.
No, I never got that part. No, I do to your show all the time. I didn't get that part about the leftovers. That's
no. We have touched on how he refuses to eat leftovers and yet still has the audacity to call me a quote fancy motherfucker.
Can you link me to that episode, please? Because I may go off on when I bring on the podcast again the next couple weeks. I may go off on his ass because that is insulting to me because I'm the guy that thinks that sometimes leftovers are better than the original. The original when you first cook it because it allows the seasoning and everything else to settle in.
I have to be honest, it was something that was said as an aside, and not to be cocky, but we've been doing the show long enough, It's going to be an effort to find it at this point. I have to be honest.
Well, you have the episode you started on on the new platform, and you had the old stuff you did from it's gonna be a little while. Yeah.
So if I'm going to ask EJ if he can remember which one it was, because if he does, I'll find it. I'll send you the goddamn clip if you want. But
by the way, let's go. I did finally watch Captain Marvel 2 nights ago.
Yes,
it's not as bad as people made it out to be. It's not like the best MCU movie, but some people were saying it was like, oh, it's horrible, one of the worst ones. No, I put it in the middle. Like, that's
what I did.
Yeah,
exactly.
what are there? 21 movies in the universe? 21, 22 movies?
23.
Okay, then it'll be like between 12 and 16.
Yeah, like it's definitely higher than 20.
Yeah,
it's definitely lower than 10.
Yeah, absolutely. There was some good moments in there. Obviously, there was definitely some. I thought the start of the movie was the cat, Samuel Jackson's cat.
Fucking cat.
So funny. What was the effect? A flecker? What was the name they used? He used a what?
Glorax or some crap. I don't know.
Yeah,
it sounded like something out of a damn what's it called? Out of a damn a Dr. Seuss novel.
Right.
Not that Dr. Seuss wrote novels, but I digress.
True. Yeah. So yeah, I liked the movie. I mean, again, it wasn't Black Panther great. It wasn't any of those movies, but it was solid. It was solid. Think what it was.
Yeah, no, that's. I mean, I don't mean to put your wife on blast, but yeah, if she tries to tell me that Captain Marvel is better than Wakanda Forever, she's out of her gourd.
She's out of her gourd. I even told her that 2 nights ago. Like, you think this is better than Black Panther? You got a problem.
Well, what's it like to be married to a racist, DJ? That's my.
She also, it's funny. Like, she actually watched Bohemian Rhapsody for the first time, last night. She didn't really enjoy it. She didn't really enjoy it as much as she thought she would. Like, and I get why, but I'm also a Queen diehard, so my reasonings are different from her reasoning. She thinks that the movie had too much filler. I actually agree with her to some degree on that. I'm not gonna lie.
So like, does that mean your podcast should be called Cats and Queen?
Jesus.
No, I'm totally messing with you.
Looking back, I watched with her last time. It was my second time watching. I saw it in the theaters in November, and then watched it again last night. And there are some really corny moments in that movie. I'll be honest with you. Like, again, that movie was targeted towards people who were not necessarily Queen diehards. People who are just there to appreciate the band, or people who may know a song or two, but now became fans as a result of the movie. I was not the part of the demographic. I was not part of the demographic. I'm a diehard, so I know more. Like, I could plug out all the inaccuracies in the movie. So,
like, if I'm watching it, I shouldn't expect any clips from "I'm Slightly Mad."
I mean, dude, they didn't go past 1985, so there you go. That's off innuendo. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, you know how I feel about innuendo.
It's their best record, in my opinion. It's also his last one.
I'm talking about just a song, but that's a great point too. Yeah,
it's a phenomenal record, and I think Brian May in that record was amazing. The guitar sound on the album is fucking amazing. Oh my god. Oh! Sorry. Anyway, Kyle, that was fun as always.
Till next time, my friend.
You got it, brother. You got it, brother. Take care.